Hey MzeroA Nation, Jason Schappert here, and in this video we'll talk about when to make a no-go decision. What is happening, MzeroA Online Ground School? Jason Schappert here. So thankful you're taking the time to watch this video. It tells me already you truly are a good pilot who is always learning. And I really mean that, because the hardest thing for me to teach, and I tell this all the time to our online ground school members. By the way, if you're not a member, I'd highly, highly encourage you to check it out. I talk all the time about this, that listen, I'm going to help you pass your written test above average, like way above average, no problems. I'm going to help you pass your check ride. That's not a problem at all. I can make you a great stick and rudder pilot. You know, you want to be the next Jaeger, Earhart, Rickenbacker. We can handle that, right? But all of that is in vain. The written test, the check ride, and being the next Eddie Rickenbacker, if you can't make good decisions. Decision making, and if you read my book, Aviation Mastery, you know this. Decision making is the hardest thing to teach in aviation. So I want to ask a question here. Show of hands, maybe let me know in the comments down below, who's ever made a no-go decision. Now, I mean, you made the no-go decision. I'm not talking your CFI called and said, hey, I'm not feeling well, the weather's bad. Some of you are still in that place, and that's fine, where the CFI makes the go and no-go decisions for you. And that's great if you're a student pilot. All I would ask is, ask your CFI, hey, I totally respect that and understand that. If you wouldn't mind, so I can learn, can you tell me why? How did you come to this conclusion? Because I want to learn to make smart decisions. You all think you're learning to fly. You think you're learning a motor skill. You think you're learning about airspace and hypoxia and all these things, and you are, but you have to learn to apply that knowledge. You see, knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is potential power. We all know someone who's really, really smart with money, but their finances are in disarray. Or we all know somebody who will tell you all about how to fix your relationships, yet they're not even married, right? Or been married a few times, right? So you have to look at it from this standpoint. Is this person giving me what I would call wisdom? Because in reality, we're really after that wisdom. So how do we make these smart go and no-go decisions? Well, you have to practice them each and every day. Let me give you some examples. Early on in my training, I'm going to say fortunately, although at the time it didn't feel that way, I had a reputation of, Jason's flying again today. He's probably going to ground the airplane. The maintenance department didn't like me. The chief flight instructor thought Jason just can't, like, I would do a run up and I didn't like something. I'd bring the airplane back. And literally, I realize it's fortunate now I had this reputation of, Jason's taxiing back. I wonder what it is this time. And you know what? If you want to live, and I'm not saying I'm great by any means. What I'm saying is if you want to have a long career in aviation, it's always best to err on the side of caution. I was driving with Ella and Gavin, our 9-year-old and 7-year-old, and there was this huge roll cloud, this nasty cold front kind of coming through. You know, that hurricane just went through, but this was a storm even prior to that. And I said to them, they're 7 and 9. I said, Ella and Gavin, what would you do if you were in an airplane right now and you saw that? And Gavin's so cute. He's the 7-year-old. And he said, well, I would probably land the airplane because that cloud could break your airplane, Daddy. I thought, you know what? That's wisdom from a 7-year-old right there. That could break my airplane, he said. And he's not wrong, right? How many in-flight breakups have we seen on big airplanes? Remember the one over Florida of a PC-12? We associate a PC-12 as like the Suburban or the Expedition of the skies, right? And this tank of a vehicle, and it had an in-flight breakup. Mother Nature is nothing to mess around. If you have a feeling, if you have that discernment, if you have that wisdom, and that's going to come through repetition, you have to learn to say, no, not today. That's what it really comes down to with making good decisions. Never feel pressure. Never feel guilty for making a no-go decision. I'm gonna leave you with one last example. because there's a lot, but the focus of this video is I want to hear your comments down below, so do share some stories. This has been someone else's story, I'm sure of it. And I hope most flight schools will learn and adopt this mentality. Sometimes in the flight school environment, we run a very tight schedule. It's flight after flight after flight, and I understand those flight schools need those propellers spinning because that's how they're making money. But we talk to thousands of you every single month through our online ground school, and you'd be amazed on the stories I've heard of a student flew on a solo cross country, landed, weather was starting to come in, they didn't like it, and the flight school was pressuring them, hey, we've got 3 other lessons after that, you need to get that plane home. And the student exercised wisdom and said, if you really want the plane so bad, send somebody here to come and get it. I'll be in the FBO with the keys waiting, like to hand them the keys, because I'm not the one that's going to fly this thing home. Bill me, I don't care. Like, that's the kind of attitude they adopt. And I thought, that's wisdom. Not only standing up for what's right, but in aviation, we don't get second chances. So what are you going to stand up for? That's what's so important. I share with you a few stories, but I'm sure you have more. Let me know in the comment section down below this video, and let's purposefully look for opportunities to make smart go and smart no-go decisions today, this week, the rest of this year. Have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you.